Hello again, everyone, and welcome to the Maroon Devil Network, MDN Live, bringing you tonight's game with Tuscola live from Swain County Memorial Stadium, Boyce Dietz Field. Beautiful, picturesque. I don't know of a whole lot of places that have a better view than that, Coach.
No, that's beautiful. We're looking back there towards Hazel Creek and back towards Lands Creek and towards the knob over there on the other side, and the clouds right just above them.
Well, we got Tuscola in town tonight, and last year that was a doozy over at their place that we got into. If you remember that one, Josh Collins rushed for over 300 yards, and it was something.
It was a dogfight all night long, and we just kept fighting our way back into the ball game, and it was an exceptional ball game to watch.
It was.
You know, kind of glad I wasn't coaching it. I'd had a heart attack, but
that's the truth.
It was a lot of fun to watch.
Well, they come into this one 2-1 overall. They've beaten Polk County and McDowell. Their only loss coming to Asheville High in the first game of the year. They are a high-octane passing attack led by quarterback Jet Bartley, who averages right at 200 yards per game passing.
Yeah, he can put on a show. Now, what little bit I saw of him on film, his arm is very lively. It's quick. He can snap that ball out at any point in time. They got two pretty good running backs back there too that can put on a show at any time. But it's real interesting to watch him from out of the gun and the way he operates, because it's not just a drop back and let's throw it deep every time. Boy, he can put that thing on the money.
And it'll be a different test this evening for the Maroon Devil defense, who have faced primarily running attacks the last 2 weeks and Smoky Mountain Franklin. So it'll be a different test for Coach Naper's defense tonight to be able to defend the pass.
Yeah, and I'm not real sure what their plan's going to be about how they're going to attack that. From what little bit I know, they're not going to change a whole lot. They're going to depend on secondary play and a lot of different zone coverages that they've been working on to try to keep those receivers in front of them and not let them get behind them at all, where it give them a chance for quick, cheap scores.
Well, Bartley's number 14 in your program, so mark him down. And he's got 3 targets, so he spreads the ball around real well with his squad. Bo West leads them with 12 receptions, and then Isaiah Height and Bridger Jones have 11 each, and he's also got about 3 or 4 other players that have a handful.
Yeah,
so it's pretty well spread out.
Yeah, you can see if you're watching it on your TV right now, he's just got a very lively arm. He's very smooth and he's very confident back there, and he just doesn't get shook up very much. And he'll find those receivers. It's your job to get underneath them and put yourself in position where he's got to throw the ball through somebody or over somebody.
Well, the best way to keep him from having a big night is not let him take snaps and keep the ball.
Yeah, keep the football. And I think that's what Coach Holt has in mind. From what little bit there again I know of his plan, he's going to try to control this football game by controlling the clock and field position. Now you and I talked about this before the broadcast. Our field position has been terrible.
It has been.
Our starting positions have been down around inside the 20-yard line so many times, staring so many yards in your face. One mistake, one penalty, and you're putting the ball back to them at midfield.
Anything that puts you behind the sticks,
always,
trouble.
Constantly, because we're just not been able to make that ground up. So we've got to be disciplined. We've got to limit our exposure to penalties, offensive penalties especially. And I think we'll see some a little bit different type of offense from Coach Holtz and his staff tonight, because it's just it's going to be a ball control thing.
Well, I'll tell you what, we saw last week, if you were with us and watched the premiere broadcast, or if you watched us on the Franklin Panthers Sports Network, you may have noted the change in numbers for Grady Lewis. He has moved from offensive line to running back. And so last week he had 87 yards to lead all rushers in rushing, and that last drive for the touchdown was all him.
It was all him. He just took it. He was carrying the mail, and you can see on the screen there his number is no longer 57, it's 31. Grady has moved to running back, and not only that, on the other side of the ball, he's went from a defensive lineman to a linebacker. Now, that you say, well, that's no big deal. Yes, it is. He's seeing more. He's being exposed to more. He's got more people that are trying to get to him and block him, but yet he's leading all of the conference in tackles, I believe.
He is. He's got 34 tackles on the season. and that's enough for top spot in the Smoky Mountain Conference. So you see Grady there in your picture in the new 31.
Yeah.
So you can take your program out and scratch 57 out and put 31 down. Yeah. I think he found himself a spot in that backfield last week with that running game.
Yeah.
And beside him, you see there number 6, Zeke Glaspie, and Zeke is our leading rusher so far this season. He's got a total of 132 yards on 28 carries.
Yeah.
So he's leading the team.
And if he gets back fully healthy, he's been dinged up a little bit all year long. I mean, he's not very big. He takes some punishment. I mean, he's tough, and he endures it. But, a young man his size, a player his size, I mean, there's only so much physical abuse out there from those 250, 300-pound defensive linemen and some of them big, tall linebackers that can run.
Yep.
He's got to tote the mail just like he did at the first of the season.
Well, I tell you, I think we've talked in the last 3 weeks about this team finding their offensive identity. Mm-hmm. And being set back in that pursuit with Drew Cody's injury.
Right.
And I think they may have found something last week with a thunder and lightning type backfield with Lewis and Glaspie.
Exactly. And the whole scenario is built around the mere fact that with Grady being just a pure power back, I mean, they're not going to expect him to outrun anybody, but he's got that. He's got the hips, he's got those shoulders, and he can knock people backwards. And he's got that can-do type attitude. He just feels like that's something that he can do, and he can take a little bit of that burden on his shoulders and make some things happen, carrying the football and blocking for Zeke.
And we talk a lot, you and I do, on and off the air about people finding ways to become weapons. Mm-hmm. And I think Grady found a way to be a weapon last week.
Yeah, he's going to help his team. Yeah. And right now, we said that before, that we're still searching for that identity. Well, it may be pivoted a whole lot off of Grady right now because with a young quarterback and some linemen that are going to be moved around some up there until they find that right mix. And, I was talking to Coach Jenkins this week, and we were trying to remember back. We remembered seasons where, we'd be 5-6 games into the season before we started the same 5 offensive linemen in the same positions, for the rest of the season. It just didn't happen for you. So we had to search, and we had to move them around till we found them.
Well, I'll tell you what, our own Addie McLeod, caught up with Coach Holt earlier this week, and let's see what they chatted about.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Coaches Show here on the Maroon Devils Network. My name's Addison McLeod, and I'm here with head football coach Sherman Holt to talk about our last football game this Friday. So, as we know, it's been a pretty tough season. How is the team holding up, not only physically, but mentally as well?
Well, physically, we've faced some pretty severe injuries, losing, 3 or 4 to broken bones, but we tell our team every day, you got to be ready. It's the next guy up. And so as far as physically, we're getting those guys, either surgery, rehab, PT, whatever it is, and, hoping we can get some of those guys back. But for right now, it's just focus on the ones that are available to play, get them ready to play. I think morale's good. Anytime you're 0-3, you worry about how your kids are going to show up to practice, how they're going to show up and attack the weight room, and, are they going to be focused and still put in hours on watching film. And so this week for us, our kids have done a real good job of we've still had high-energy practices. We've still continuing to work to get better at certain things. We've had to move some kids around, playing different positions that they're not normally accustomed to playing. And so at the end of the day, you just want your kids to practice hard, to play hard, play with a lot of enthusiasm, and eventually, we should be able to have some of that success that we're looking for.
All right, and what do you think we can expect out of our Tuscola game this Friday?
Well, they like to throw the football a whole lot more than we do. And so, it's going to be big for our defense, secondary-wise, to read their keys, understand what coverages we're in. D-line play is going to be big. We got to get a little pressure on the quarterback. Bartley kid, he's a real good athlete, throws a real good football. And so, trying to disguise what we're doing coverage-wise in the secondary, get a little pressure on him with those defensive guys up front, whether it's blitzing linebackers or running some twists or just getting a good jet rush. And so for us, defensively, it's going to be real important to limit their big play ability. They've got some real good wide receivers. Bo West, he's a great wide out, runs real crisp routes. He's pretty fast. And so we got to do a good job of keeping an eye on where he's at throughout the game. And then offensively for us, we've preached to our kids we got to be efficient. Don't have a drive going and then get a penalty or have a turnover or have a negative play. Just continue to march down the field, positive yardage every play, and we got to go score some points. And so that's been our focus this week going into the Tuscola game is be stingy on defense, play good in the secondary, put a little pressure on the quarterback. Offensively, we just got to go score some points.
All right. And what have been the highlights for you and your coaching staff this season?
So, like for us, we've seen some young kids kind of develop in the first 3 games and those scrimmages too is, kids that we didn't think, how much playing time they were going to get have stepped up and played a lot. Skylar Bowman's played a lot defensively for us. And he's been a good spark for us on that D-line. Looking for him to play a little bit of offensive line this week. Hunter Williamson looking for him to play a little offensive line this week. So just seeing those younger kids kind of develop as the seasons went on to be able to put them in, be able to rest some of our starters, periodically through the game. But at the end of the day, we're still trying to get our guys to believe in themselves, because we've got some real good football players, and we've got to take ownership of it. But for us as coaches, we just try to put them in a spot that we feel like is going to get them in a successful situation so they can have some success. And for us, it's just seeing some of those guys that – we didn't know. They were though questionable on the borderline. Are they starters? Are they not? Can they come in and provide some good reps? And so seeing some development from our younger kids has been really, really pleasing to watch. And, even though Drew Cody's went down and we're not going to get him back, he's been very vocal leader the past couple of weeks. And so that's been good to see him kind of take on that vocal leadership role and encouraging guys and motivating guys to do their job.
All right. Well, that concludes the Coaches Show for this week. Thank you for your time, and let's stay tuned for kickoff.
Thanks, Addison. That was a great job reporting on Addison's part, getting the whole scoop there from Coach Holt. We appreciate that. Good work. And some more good work put down, and we talked about it last week, but we were premiered delayed until Sunday.
Right.
And the event we talked about was Friday Night Lights, which is one of the premier cross-country events in the state, actually in the southeast. 4,000 runners were there, which is mind-boggling. They break up into heats so that it's fair. You're racing against people around your same speed and so forth. And our teams, of course, did excellent, as they always do, with great showings. But they were in such large classes because of their pedigree, if you will, that they didn't finish in the top spot, as we're accustomed to. But we did have the top 2 runners from the boys and the girls side have outstanding days. Carl Baird, he was running in the, let me get this straight now, boys invitational division, and Carl finished 3rd overall in that. Just a fantastic day.
I can just look at these 2 young people right here, and that's something that you're not going. I don't know if I had to run from here to my vehicle out there, I'd have a tough enough time. But this is an endurance thing, folks, and that's exactly what they were involved in, and it's miraculous what they can do.
And Arizona Blankenship also finished 3rd. But now, folks, a couple of things about Arizona's performance. This is her first time being back at the start of a cross-country season since her freshman year.
Right.
Due to injury. So now as a senior, she's off to a hot start. She goes down there. She is in the, let me get this straight, she was in the girls' championship division.
Right. And I don't even know how they I don't know how you organize 4,000 runners.
I don't either.
I don't even know where you find a place for everybody to be. But as you can tell from the backgrounds there, some of it was done at night, some of it during the day. Yeah, because of the heat. I mean, these young people were out there having to run these distances and to place as high as they did. That's miraculous.
Well, the girl who won it in Arizona's division is a senior from a Charlotte school, 4A school, and she ran the second fastest time in Friday Night Lights history.
Goodness.
Of girls. Now that's tough.
That's scary.
But now on the flip side of that, Arizona finished third, and the girl who won it was 17:42 time. Arizona's was 17:57 in third place.
In third place, my goodness.
But that's good enough for Arizona to set a new personal record. That's the fastest she's ever run a cross-country meet.
Right.
And bodes well for the fact that she's healthy again.
Right.
And looks like there's going to be special things on the horizon once again for her and the cross-country teams.
Yeah, exactly. And I just can't say enough about the type of training it takes to do what these young people do and the amount of time they got to do it. And it's not a once a week thing.
No.
They have to do this type of training every day.
Absolutely. And you know, the other thing, Rod, that we talk about a lot, and it's worth mentioning to folks at home who are watching this, that couldn't have been a very easy meet for them to go and run at, because it's the first one that they've done without Coach Payne.
Yeah, we mentioned that last week.
It had to be a difficult time with him on their mind a lot, and I'm sure they probably dedicated that to him.
Sure.
And that's kudos to them for going out and performing in such a manner. Really proud of their effort in that. We also had another trio of ladies who were singled out by the North Carolina Volleyball Coaches Association as players to watch across the state of North Carolina. This is all classifications, all schools in the state of North Carolina. And our three were Kaylee Parker, their senior setter, Gracie Sutton, who's a senior middle hitter, and Kennedy Anthony, who's a junior outside hitter for the Lady Devils. So kudos to those three, well-deserving. And if you've not seen these guys play, you need to get out and check that out, because it's some good stuff. This past week we had 2 home games. We're going to have 3. Nantahala had to cancel because of illness. But the Cherokee match on Monday was as good as you can get for 3 sets. And people will say, well, we lost. We did. But that's the first time Cherokee has lost a set. To a Smoky Mountain Conference team in over a year. So kudos to our girls for a great week. And in relation to that, after Tuesday's game with Highlands, I caught up with head coach Lydia Sale. Hello again, everybody. Toby Burrell here with head volleyball coach Lydia Sale. Coach Sale, another win tonight. Yeah. Congratulations on that. Thought your team played really well the last 2 nights. Good job attacking the ball. Talk to us just a little bit about how that works out when you've got a senior setter like Kaylee Parker.
So something crazy is that this is Kaylee's 2nd year of setting, which is awesome. And she's actually leading the conference in assists right now. She's an absolute rock star, has taken this role and ran with it. She sets our hitters up just about perfect every single time, and her work ethic is impeccable. So super proud of her.
Well, and your hitting is spread out over 3 to 5 different people, which makes you guys really diverse. I was doing stats from last week, and you guys had 4 players with 10 or more kills in one match. So that's tremendous. Talk just a little bit about what that means to you guys and being able to continue attacking.
Yeah, absolutely. The goal of our program is not to have everything on one person's shoulders. And I think all of our hitters, especially our outsides, have taken that and ran again this year. And we're working really hard on getting good attacks even when we're not in our normal system. And I think our outsides have really led the charge in that. And, props to Kaylee Parker again, because she really makes it look like we're in system most of the time.
Well, I tell you what, I, for one, am quite familiar with your 5 seniors and what they mean to a program. Talk just a minute about them and what they've meant to your program.
Yeah, so we've got 6.
My bad.
Nope, that's okay. We got 6 seniors. I almost can't even talk about it without being emotional. I've been with this group of kids since they were freshmen in high school as their JV coach. I was with some of them even in middle school when I was their middle school coach. And, when Jeff and I came in and kind of took this program over, we challenged them from a young age to be the change and to bring this team and this program back to a championship team. And they've really owned that, and I think that's what they try to do every day.
Well, kudos to them and kudos to you and your coaching staff. Thanks for joining us tonight. We're going to see you down the road.
Join today. By becoming a member of MDN Live, you will have access to all live broadcasts of Maroon Devils athletics for the low price of $5.99 per month. That means you will be able to watch varsity volleyball, men's soccer, and varsity football for an entire month. If you allow your subscription to continue throughout the year, you will be able to watch varsity men's and women's basketball, wrestling, women's soccer, softball, and baseball. All proceeds from this subscription service go directly to Swain Athletics to help offset the growing costs of providing multiple sporting opportunities for our student athletes. So for less than the cost of a kid's meal at your favorite fast food joint, you'll be providing critical support to our student athletes each month while enjoying countless hours of Swain County athletics live. It's truly a win-win situation. Become a member today and do your part to help keep Swain County athletics the best it can be.
Welcome back to the MDN Live pregame show. Toby Burrell along with Rod White. And we are winding down to kickoff time, Coach, as we get ready here. Take a look at other games, and honestly, other games this week, most of them have already been played. Everybody played last night.
Yeah, everybody was a little bit afraid of the impending weather forecasts, but so far so good for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Murphy took the win over Smoky Mountain 22-14. That was a close one throughout that one. That was at Smoky. Copper Basin and Robbinsville got together over at Big Oaks. Robbinsville 46-0 win there. Hayesville was at Pisgah. Pisgah come away with a 30-0 win. And then a real bar burner over at Andrews is Mitchell and Andrews went at it. It was 35-34.
Yeah, that's
as a final.
That's a very surprising score to me. That it really was, and not to take anything away from anybody, but when Mitchell goes to Andrews and then gets into a cat fight over there with them, and then that's something special.
Yep, and that's it should be an eyebrow raiser for the Smoky Mountain Conference.
Exactly.
It may be on.
Yeah.
The other game we got going on tonight is Rosman is at Cherokee, and that does it for Smoky Mountain Conference tonight. On the Maroon Devils Network and MDN Live next week, we've got soccer on Monday with Andrews. We'll have that one for you at 6 o'clock. Volleyball team's on the road Monday at Highlands. Tuesday we have a rare night where we don't have anything. I'm pretty sure women's golf's playing, but I don't have access to their schedule. So, Coach Crisp, if you're out there, how about shooting me a schedule? Thanks. Plug on the side, sorry. Wednesday we got soccer home again against Hayesville. So the Maroon Devil soccer team has turned to conference play already, Coach. And if you've been following along on our social media and Maroon Devils Network, it was 1-0 over Murphy the first game of conference, then a 2-1 loss to Blue Ridge in the second game.
Okay.
So you're talking some really tight soccer
in
the Smoky Mountain Conference.
Tight score, yes.
You definitely want to come out and check some of that out. Volleyball is playing Wednesday as well. They're on the road to North Henderson for a non-conference tilt. with the Knights. And then on Thursday, another set of Knights coming to town. We'll have that one for you here on MDN Live, as the volleyball team will host Robbinsville in a big conference showdown with the Black Knights. JV football's here versus Murphy as well, so make your way out and check that one out. You probably can get a twofer if you want to follow us on MDN Live and then watch the JV football game.
Exactly.
You get a twofer.
Yes, sir. And then Friday night, of course, the varsity football schedule, we have our open date, and we'll be taking a break from football on Friday night. But we've got a full week of other things happening around for the school, the athletes here at the school.
Well, I tell you, you and I are going to go next Friday and cover Brosman, I think, just to drive around a little bit.
Sure. we need a road trip. Yeah, we got to throw a road trip.
Not like we haven't had one, right?
Yeah, like we haven't been to Charlotte. Okay, all right.
Hey, sports fans, if you follow us along a lot, you know we've kidded and talked a lot about Gary Ayers the last couple of weeks. We want to just give you a quick update. Gary's feeling good, doing well, and he's looking for a date down the road to maybe come out and hang with us a little bit, and we're looking forward to that as well. So, Gary, I know you're watching. I don't know if you're watching us yet, but I know you're watching. So, we miss you, and I hope you get back with us real soon.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun aggravating him. I'm hoping he's getting better, and from everything that I've been hearing from folks, and especially from you, been staying in touch with him, and so we just want to wish him well and get back here as quick as he can.
Well, just know that, Gary, I hate to tell you this, but your makeup trailer is down on the lake now.
Yeah.
Rob took it last week down to the lake.
I did. So. It's down there near. I'm not going to tell you where it's at, but it's pretty close to Almond Boat Park down there. My good friends are keeping an eye on it for me down there, so. I've got all your makeup stored. Some of it's in the lake. We had a little party.
A little
accident on the way down, but it's close by down there.
Well, folks, we're winding down towards kickoff time. The Marching Maroon Devil, award-winning Marching Maroon Devil band coming out for the national anthem. As they do that, we want to thank our sponsors for tonight: Great Smoky Mountain Railway, Farm Bureau, K&B Mowing, and High Creek Earthworks. And we're going to try to get High Creek a few more first downs tonight.
We got to throw them in there. And hopefully Coach Holt and his staff, they've got something ready for the Mountaineers here that we can hang on to this football tonight and generate some offense. That's what we're looking for.
That's the name of the game. Well, we're going to slide out of here, and when we come back with you, we'll be winding down towards kickoff with the pay version of our broadcast, and we appreciate you joining us here on the pregame show. We'll see you on the other side.